is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. The mechanic, Melandro Gutierrez.
It doesn't make sense. Like, I know you can hear me now. Like, before, I get it, but now I know you can hear me because I did the thing, but I'm not happy about it. To be fair. Like, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Hold on.
And from Huntsville, Alabama, Heather.
Hold on, I think I figured it out. Okay, you guys can hear me. I want you to answer me in 5 seconds, okay? I'm going to say it. I'm going to turn this off in 3, 2, 1. Can you hear me now? I believe now you can hear me. I just think I figured out a new setting. But now can you hear me? Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Wow. I'm going to tell you, it's funny. You put one different thing in there. You put like one different setting in there and it changes everything. Unreal. Okay, so at least now we know we've got this set up. Now I know what I've got to do to get the other thing going. So, God, I know 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 27. Oh, man. I'm excited about the soundboard, but I'm not excited about what the soundboard just did to that microphone. I thought that microphone would be better because everything is hooked up different. It's like a better type looking microphone. But it did not sound better than this microphone. It didn't sound clear, like more clear than this microphone sounded. And I can't plug this microphone in without a kind of an auxiliary thing that I don't have right now. So I'm going to have to go buy that to then test the soundboard again. So very, very interesting. You know what I mean? But at least we have this. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's weird because like I can see the stuff, and so then I assume it's right. The thing that was getting frustrating, I turned on apparently a monitor. I hit a monitor switch, and so then in order for the monitor switch to work, you got to turn on something else to get the sound then to go out. So weird. I don't know. This is right in the game. This is one of those unlockable things you can get in the game. I wish, like, you know, this isn't going to be like on for a whole bunch longer, but I wish, and this is going to be a whole podcast, like I wouldn't even call it a 2K25 wish list. I would call it a 2K wrestling wish list. Like, I don't care. Like, I care when it comes out, but if you're going to have ECW arenas, and if you're going to have the WCW, because they're owned, they have the rights to all that, why wouldn't you have a WCW arena for their pay-per-view events in the game? Like, why wouldn't that be a thing? You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I saw that, Eagle. Very sorry to hear that. Yeah, and this is probably the best place really for Eagle to talk about this. Because when you start bringing real life into some of the shows, like it gets, some people are like here to escape from the thing, you know what I mean? And then that comes up, that's a some show crushing news right there. Makes me want to cry, you know what I mean? So, yeah, all the real life stuff I would probably leave out of the show, but in the Discord. Definitely say it in the Discord, but man, that's a hard thing. Like I've got some real life news too that I would share, but it's just, I know people are coming here to be uplifted. Mother-in-law is passing. That is not an uplifting thing. This one doesn't matter. Like we're not, but I'm just, it's a tough one. No, you've been in our prayers, so your family's been in our prayers. Like it's for sure. What is going on, Blaise? Welcome to the stream, brother. Yeah, I tested out the sound card right now. I've got to buy a piece so that my microphone hooks into it. I found some workarounds for some other stuff. The sound card, I mean, it was a lot of fun, but like we've got some things to do. That is for sure. The microphone was terrible. It's funny because it looks like it's set up just like my microphone. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I mean, believe you me, there's a couple different things going on right now in my life that if I brought it up, it just sad. It's so sad, like so sad. But crazy. So yeah, then I screwed up and hit some button, and then nobody could hear anything. It went a completely different way. Like this microphone sounds fine. I've heard it in the thing. The other microphone, I could hear the stuff, and they said flickering. I call it ripping, but you could hear things not going well in the microphone. You know what I mean? So I think if I get what I need for this microphone, and then I get the adapter to put the 3.5 or 3 point whatever it is, 3.5 jack in the back of the sound card, I think it'd be fine. But this microphone just hooks straight up. It's a USB mic. And the mic it came with, I really thought it would be better. It just isn't. Oh, yeah, no, that's what I mean. Well, look, I mean, Eagle says that, and then Temple talks about his auntie passing, and then I could tell you about kids that I like in my family right now, a couple that have cancer. I can tell you about another one I just found out right before we started doing this live streaming. My sister-in-law, possibly. Like, I'm telling you, like, everybody, and I think, though, people come here to get away from that. Now, in the Discord, yeah, absolutely. We need to talk about it, and if you guys ever need anything, you guys know me. Let me know. But in the show, man, that is rough. Yeah, no. You look at Blaise's community, you look at this community here. Yeah, I mean, it's a good place to stop and share and talk. And look, too, in the Discord, you can call me. You can call me, and we can talk about anything you ever need to talk about, for sure. So, but yeah. Tomorrow, though, I leave on the cruise. I'm disappointed. I'm so disappointed about this sound card. I wish the microphone worked. I even tried some other things, and I see what you're saying now, where you can hear that buzzing in the background. So I had to do a workaround and put these headphones going in through the Elgato into my computer, and these through the monitor on the sound card, and then slip them up underneath so that I would at least I could have the monitor to make sure that it's working the right way. So yeah, all kinds of stuff. Well, and then right around Christmas time too, you know what I mean? Like it's very, very interesting, to say the least. And I'm telling you, this like break, this vacation, this whatever is coming at right the right time. I need it. My wife needs it. You guys sound like you need it. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to. You know what I mean? If I'm around, the bounty guys can't get me. They just get whooped. It's funny, and the guy that you have in your universe, the guy that I've uploaded, isn't even the cheat code. I've got a moveset that I don't even use in my own universe because, again, but I'm serious, the moveset's like having a cheat code. And everybody thinks that cheat code is, you got all the finishers. I don't have any finishers. Matter of fact, my finishing move I don't even think is a finisher in most people. So having all the finishers isn't the cheat code in this game, but there is a number of things you could do to put movesets together, where one move literally leads into, like, sets you up. Look, Melinda's got it too, where it sets you up in ways to get there, to get to the next move, to the next thing, to where they flow, to where they don't have reversals. And my guy gets reversed all the time. So it's not even all of that. It's just the moveset's flowing the right way. And I've seen a lot of people's movesets where, like, your finishing move is head damage, right? And all of your moves are doing damage to the body and to the legs. Why? Now, the only time that makes sense, and like, for instance, Eagle Star, I don't let a lot of people have this, but Eagle Star is one of the characters that has it. Look at the detail on this. Look at Melinda's top. And you got the tote symbol right there. Most people don't notice that, but since she's standing there. So Eagle Star, we call it the bounty collector, right? But it's the crucifix, basically. God dang it, what was it called with Scott Hall? But Scott Hall's finishing move. Anyway, it's that move, and it does body damage. So most of the Eagle Star's moves do body damage, but I put one move on them because it's not about it doing damage to the legs. It's a quick way where if you went to grab him, he can actually, and you'll see him do this move where he slides under, trips the guy, and now he's in position to start doing the move. So when you put your moves together like that, and there are certain moves in the game. Heather's got a move. Heather's finishing move in this game, and Jane's finishing move. When they hit their finishing move, for some reason, 99 times out of 100, they hit their finisher, and it immediately restores their finishing move. Those are the only two that I've ever seen that do it. But it restores their finishing move most of the time. So if they hit you with the finishing move, they've already got the same finishing move again. Like, it's already ready to go again if they want to use it. And in some of their matches, you'll see them use it multiple times. Now, obviously, you don't see Razor's Edge. Thank you, Primetime. You don't see how it goes, but yeah. Yeah, and there's many ways, like Blaise is saying. There's a lot of ways to do it. And there's some tips and some tricks to doing it, but it's not about the specific moves that you're doing. It's about how all of your moves work together. If all of your moves is doing leg damage and your finishing move is head damage, how do you think that's going to end? Like, you're not going to put that guy down. Bam, oh, choke slam, head damage, you take that, buddy. Except everything you've been doing is to the legs, but you don't have anything to make them tap out. You don't have anything to make them You're not going to pin them just by doing a bunch of leg damage. And then when you've done all this damage and all this stuff and you're leading it a certain way, and then all of a sudden you're getting ready to do your finisher, it's called a finisher for a reason, and that finisher doesn't continue on doing damage to the part you're attacking. It does damage to a different part. It's not even a finisher. It's a laugher. It's a laugher move, maybe. Because when I see it happen, I laugh. I'm like, what? That's why, too, when I download some of your guys' characters, most of the characters, I'd say 70%, have master-crafted movesets in my universe. If you're losing a lot, and this is what happens when new characters come in, I tell you, it's going to take you 5 or 6 matches. I will watch your movesets, I will see what you're trying to do, and then I will actually start master-crafting your moveset to compete in the WCW. So when people get all wrapped around the axle about, oh, you don't touch my character, probably not the right place for you, to be fair. But yeah, it's just how many people we got in here right now? Because we did the sound test. The sound test thing didn't work out the way we wanted it to. Master crap. I love it, man. There's a lot of things like that. Hey, since we're testing, Blaise, you want to see if this works now? You want to we'll just do a test right now and see if we can't get Blaise in here. Let's just see if it works. This is the next thing that we were trying, and we couldn't even see if it works. Your move shit. Love it. That's funny too. Maybe I sound to the wrong. Hold on. That's. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Hold on. Let me see if I can send this to you, Solo. Or Solo. Yeah, just give me like 85 chances. Let's see if I can't figure it out. So we do that. Let me hit close. It's so funny because this should work, and then things happen. You know what? I bet you I know it. God, if we can get Blaise in here. I bet you I can make it work now. Let me think this through. Let me just think it through. So, while we're sitting here messing around. Yeah, it took me a while, but like, there's Sarah's moveset now. She's tough one-on-one. You guys getting ready to hear why we're called the Bark Squad? My dogs, they're gonna figure it out. Right now, they're probably like wondering, like, what's see? There we go. I'm shocked it took them that long. Since you guys are here, when in Rome, what's going on, Witcher? Yeah, see? Bark Squad in full effect. We'll kind of have this playing in the background while this is going on. Did I change anybody? Oh, no. I don't think we're ready for that yet. Let's put Sarah in. Four-way table match. Oh! Look at me, not even noticing. Okay, I can't, but now talk. Hold on. Show on stream. Volume is up.
Tables match. Making her way to the ring from Kyoto, Japan. The Pitbull Walker.
Okay. So weird. Why can I not? Settings. Can you guys hear Blaise talking?
And her opponents, first from Tokyo, Japan.
Oh my god.
Hello, hello?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Hello!
So in a weird... I'm learning a lot
Hello,
today.
everyone!
In a weird thing, in a completely different area, I've got you muted. So I click off of that, and then all of a sudden it's working. Can you guys hear Blaise now? It'll be about 8 seconds before they answer. But
Yeah.
yes, they
Yeah,
can.
I see that. I know the delay.
Nice.
Wow.
So I just got to listen.
Hi, everybody! You ever thought you'd hear Radio Rex on a toad show, huh?
Yeah, I just have to listen to you like through a different monitor.
I have
From Osaka, Japan.
earpiece here, and this is monitor here where you're at, and this is plugged into my phone so I can hear the feedback.
Yeah, I haven't got to the phone part of it yet, so as soon as
I'm so used to just sitting back and talking because this mic, this Blue Snowball picks up everything.
yeah,
It is the easy explanation to non-musical people is it only records from the front.
nice.
Like it's omnidirectional. This one picks up from all sides. So for some reason I got to be like right up on it, and I hate it.
Yeah,
And I
see,
have it blasted. The volume is all the way up.
that's this too, and I've debated getting the that snowball mic just so I could have it here when I'm doing it. It's not on screen. See, I've got this other microphone that came with the system. And
Oh, I thought there was feedback. That's the audience. I didn't know you had a match going. I'm like, what is all that background noise?
yeah, it's But so I've got to turn you on desktop instead of just having you on through a different. Like there's so many things that are going on.
You're talking about in OBS?
And yeah, in OBS, and so then I've got to turn on the desktop. That way they can hear you. If I mute the desktop, they can't hear you. It's kind of like too, like if Solo's on the other thing, but now I had him muted too. Like both the links were muted. So I don't know why. I don't even get in there. So it must have been a default thing that happened.
It's always one button or knob or something. Let's give it up for him.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Totes has done it.
Yeah, so I've got that. I've got the echo stuff. That stuff is all working. I've heard it work. It's just with that microphone, I can't make it work right through. So I'll get this one hooked up to
It's real cheap. I have to be right up on it for it to.
Yeah.
I mean, it has all fancy holder and shit, and it's an XRL. I'm used to that. I have a bunch of those downstairs from when my basement used to be a recording studio and a practice for my band. So the guy left tons of cables and a big equipment box full of shit. Yeah, Temple, we know you're a knob.
Well, and that's why I thought I've got so many things because I play guitar, I've got amps, I've got microphones, I've got all the, and I'm like, man, I've got enough things, I could figure it out. So now trying to do this through the stream, it doesn't always work out right.
R2K, you don't got to show your face, bro. I went 6 years without showing my face on YouTube. My idea was when you watch wrestling, you don't see the announcer all the time. You don't see the commentator. So I never use my cam on PS4 for years.
Yep.
And people told me, if you're not showing your camera, you're not going to get viewers on YouTube. And I'm like, that's come and watch my show. I'll entertain you.
I don't think you have to show your face either.
I just wish this was USB.
I can't hear you now. Make sure it's not on my end again. Nope. Everything's good on my end. As soon as you picked that up and said, I wish this was USB, it cut out. Dog, if you keep barking. My dogs are on another level. I don't know, because you would have to, the way we're doing it right here, there's multiple different ways to join, but the way we're doing it right here, you'd probably have to go, well, no, Solo's gone through his phone. So, like, that way you could turn off, like, you know, not have your camera on and show it that way. This is the only thing with some of this stuff, you know what I mean? Okay. That's what I figured. You guys are getting like a little preview of some people that are going to be in our universe later. Bam, click the show on stream.
Hello?
I got you again. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, this is what you get when you buy the cheap sound card first.
Right? Well, no, that's what I did. So this sound card only cost me like $40.
ones. I'm not spending $500 on one unless I know I really want it.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do. So I spent $40. That's why that microphone is so cheap. The sound card was actually doing, it sounded fairly well. But yeah, I'm never going to spend that much money, I don't think. Like, I mean, as far as that, I might $100.
Rodecaster makes the premier one that most people that broadcast and do podcasts use. And when I did my wrestling podcast, we were going to have it down in my friend Ray's studio where his band practices. And he has a Rodecaster. So I'm kind of be like, why don't you sell me that Rodecaster for $100? You never use it.
Yeah.
I know it's $500. And that thing, that's professional shit.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like when I used to play, like I had a big soundboard and a big thing and all this stuff, and I could have figured out a way to use that, but I got rid of it years ago.
And nowadays with technology, they can put it all in one little thing too. So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, see which ones they were recommending, without going 400 or 500, and there was 2 of them I was between. But all I wanted was voice changer and echo. I wanted reverb and a voice changer. That's it.
Yeah.
All the other shit I don't really need although the gun sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm wondering now which one you got because so
A300.
far. Okay, I got a.
It's called a K300.
An
And it had the best reviews and the most videos on it.
S or something. Like I'm serious. Mine was like $49, $50, something like that. It wasn't that much, but
Now this card was $39.99. Then it was like $60 with a mic, and I was like, okay, I'm getting a cheap mic. I get it, because I didn't have a 3.5 to XRL mic. I just have a USB mic, so I had to get a mic. So I'm like, I'll get the cheap mic, test it. If I like it, then I'll invest in probably a $70, $80 mic down the line as soon as I can save it.
Yeah,
Because you don't have to pay $500 for a mic. You don't have to pay $300. An $80 to $100 mic and video camera. Same thing with this Logitech camera. One of the most popular ones out there. $70, $80. You get really good quality.
Yeah, I've got 2 of those Logitech cameras. I bought one for me and one for my wife because she used to do it, but then she got a computer that had a built-in mic, so now I've got 2 Logitech cameras. This microphone that I'm talking on right now, $59.99, 3 years ago. Didn't use it for 2 years, and then all of a sudden got it because I didn't go to a computer. I just went to my PlayStation. So for years, all it was just the PlayStation camera. Just everything was through the PlayStation. And then,
I used the PlayStation camera too. I still have it. It's right over here.
Yep.
It's still right next to my PlayStation.
Yeah, mine's right over there. So, yeah, it's just funny. Like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't start spending money on things until much later on down the line. Like, the only reason I've spent money on anything is I'm like, okay, now I know what I want to do. Now I know how I want to do it. And now what's the cheapest way I can do it?
The big thing for me was entrance music. As much as I was a DJ for years and into music, I was like, I have to find a way to do entrance music. I'm going to have the echo. I want to do the announcing. When they come down, I don't want to use the game. That's just me. And I was like, I need music. So I was like, first of all, it was a bitch trying to get everybody to understand we can't use copyright music. So then Drum Monkey sends me a song from his band, and I was like, that's fucking perfect. Yep. And people were sending me their own music. I had my own music, my brother's bands, my DJ stuff, and I was like, after it was trying to get the microphone or the music playing next to the PS microphone and picking it up. So test after test after test, and you can hear it's kind of tin canny back in the day if you go to my old streams. And then recently I found a perfect way to line up these speakers, but this thing directly connects to the PC, so now the music's crystal clear, which I've always wanted. But then my voice is too loud. And then plus a lot of the music I've gotten from different sources, so they're all different levels.
Yep.
Now I have an EQ. I can, I know which song I need to turn down a little bit or move up. And there's an attack button or an avoid button that's on here, which I never knew what it was until I found out you have an accompaniment coming into the sound card. If you hit the avoid, or I think it's called attack button too, the music goes down when you start talking. Then it comes back up when you stop talking, which is a very cool feature, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't need half. Dude, this is my big secret. $8 on Amazon. People thought I had a huge soundboard. This is where all my noises for 7 years came from this $8 thing. People are like, wow, he's got this big fancy thing. And I'm like, $8 off Amazon.
Yeah, that's the thing that you do. That's the thing that you got to figure out, and the thing that you got to find. Like, I'm serious. I knew a guy, and he spent like $4,000. He still hasn't made his money back on any of that stuff.
See, I had to wait till I had money to do any of it. So as soon as I got monetized and I finally started to get a little bit of membership, I was like, well, now I can afford to upgrade stuff.
Let me make it worse. I've had really good jobs. Like I'm talking $150,000 a year, like plus jobs. I still refused to spend any money on what I was doing here. I'm serious. It's just like it's the okay. This is
You're the entertainer. You can take little equipment and still make it fun.
Well, absolutely. But I walk into, and I've been looking at adding one of those hard drives, solid state drives, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at adding one of those onto the PlayStation, and I find one for $160. So I'm like, I don't want to spend $160. I want to spend closer to $100. It goes on sale during a Christmas event for $120. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to go buy one. But I'm traveling a lot. I finally find it goes on sale. I get this alert, and I'm like, okay. So I leave work like a half an hour early to drive across town to go buy this I probably spent like $15 in gas just getting over there. But to buy this $120 solid state drive 1 gigabyte thing. And I'm like, okay. I walk in, and they had it on sale for $130 instead of $120. And I tell the guy, I said, hey, look, I'm seeing it right here. He goes, oh, see, it's Tuesday. And I'm like, I'm a sales guy. Like, I train GMs. I train salespeople. Right? And I was go get a manager. Just go get a manager, somebody who can make a decision, because I'm not going to repeat this again. So he comes in, and I go, look, I'm in sales. I know if you can sell it for 120 on yesterday, you can sell it for 120 today. I understand how it works. You're not even getting rebates on this. You're trying to move product. Now, you're down to your last, like, 2 units. And he goes, well, just like you said, it's only $10. I said, that is a terrible negotiation tactic, because I'm going to leave. So I start leaving. I get to the front door. He runs up, and he goes, hey, you can buy it for $120. And I said, yeah, but I've already made up my mind not to now. So I said, it's weird. I said, I'm not even mad at you. You're retarded, but I'm not mad at you. I get it.
The customer's always right. What happened to that?
This is, and I don't agree with the customer's always right, but
not always. But
I'm like, this is my hang-up. It's my own hang-up. So, and he goes, well, I mean, if you need the $10, and I pulled $500 out of my wallet. I said, I don't need the money. This is just my walking around money. I said,
I want to see if you're going to give me good customer service, and I'll come back.
It's the principle of the matter. I said, you ran up against the wrong guy. Like, you advertise it for this. I said, to make it worse, I drove 30 minutes out of my way to get here. And I'm going to have to drive 30 minutes back and not have the thing that I came here to get. I said, that pisses me off, but maybe you guys have good food over here. I don't know. I'm going to go out to a restaurant.
I've had my life threatened and phones thrown at me, and people said they're going to come kill me because they bought a computer that didn't work or a cell phone that didn't work. And it's like, but the technology nowadays blows my mind, because like, as soon as I started doing this, I was like, I don't want to lose any of my stuff. So I bought two 2-terabyte hard drives that are USB, and I got everything backed up onto the computer and backed up onto that. So if my whole computer blew up, I just plug this little thing in and everything's back.
Yeah,
so I'm a safe than sorry kind of person.
Right, I have partition drives now. I've got a 2 terabyte partition solid state drive, and then I've got a 1 terabyte solid state drive. This is my PC right now. It makes no sense what I got, because I don't need it. But like for me, so all of my stuff gets recorded in 2 places until I can get it out to where I need it going. But yeah, I don't know. It's just.
Well, I was always taught in computers, if you have 2 hard drives, you use the main hard drive for like your programs and put your files and all your storage and all your other shit on the other hard drive, and your computer will run better. Mm-hmm. I mean, 9 out of 10 times when I worked for Gateway, people had a problem with the computer. It was user error. It was just something they were doing wrong, or they never cleaned their system out. They never defragged or whatever. You know, you got to take care of it. It's not like a little toy. It's not pickup sticks or jacks. It's something you have to maintain.
Yep.
show my age with pickup sticks and jacks.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, yeah,
Like,
of
what?
course. Like, why wouldn't it be pickup sticks? Like,
But that's, you know, I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Plus, like you said, you've been in sales, you've been on the other side, you understand how it is. You've been, you know, you've felt. I think everyone should have to work a retail job for at least a month or two in their life.
I do too. I think
It'll be a lot nicer.
Yeah, I think people
Understandable.
would change how they treat people.
Yeah, most certainly.
Like you know, people came in, they'd come into the store and they'd be yelling, "I need to speak to the GM." Then they're like, "You, sir," and they would say what they say, and I'm like, I'm not your normal GM. So let's step outside. I'm gonna beat the dog snot out of you for talking to another human being that way, and then tell me what the problem is. I'll help you fix it. You know, like, oh well, but yeah, I just don't get. I don't get it sometimes. And I'm pretty good, even when I'm super pissed off, of maintaining for a little while. My wife will tell you if I get quiet,
Not good.
things aren't going well. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm no longer trying to solve your problem when I'm quiet.
From Japan.
Now I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to punch you. I wonder what I'm going to do. What am I going to do right? No, not yet.
These are the type of things, though, that people don't understand that we go through. They think we just press a button and go live and go. Like, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work. I mean, I've seen your notebooks and my stacks of pages, and I mean, I show everybody's card that they have their name and their ad. Actually, these are all my inactive people that I've let go, and all the great hall. I got everybody's card. Everyone, like, you keep track of all your shows and stuff. I do the same thing.
Yep.
But it's like trying to get the sound right, trying to get the levels right. I mean, it took me a while before I realized the audience, the crowd noise had to be at like 40 or 50%.
Yep.
For it to come across at the way I wanted it, like my voice, and still hear the crowd fluctuation, but I don't want the crowd to be too loud.
Well, so this is funny. If I can't hear the crowd, like the way everything was set up when I initially did it, other people, like the video could hear the crowd. If you were out there, I couldn't hear it though. And what's funny about that, the way you try to commentate that is you don't feel the energy of what's going on. Like, you can watch these shows and you ebb and rise with the crowd also. They start getting louder. You got to talk louder, just like you're in the arena. And if you're not in the arena, at least in your head, it doesn't come across well. Like, it's some of the worst. I've still got the videos. I just made them private because I'd get demonetized. Because it has the real wrestlers' entrance music. If you're under 1,000 subscribers right now, I'm telling you what, you can use the entrance music all you want. You're not making money doing it anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, let me. Now, here's the thing, though. That is true to a point. However, I can name two people that lost their channel. They weren't monetized, but they lost their channel over stuff like that. If you get copyright with the wrong people and they want to strike you, they'll strike you. And they can also take you down. So I've heard that argument a lot, and I just have to let people know, just because you're not monetized, if you play the wrong stuff, they will strike you and they can take your channel down, even if you're not monetized. So be careful.
Well, don't play other people's music. But I'm talking the WWE, they're not coming after you. They never came after me.
Actually, the intro, I think it was 20. No, there was no 21. I think it was 22. The intro or something. There was a video. It was getting copyright strikes.
Yep.
If you played the intro, the very beginning, the Together Forever, with all that bullshit.
Yep. No, and I know you even told me as well. You're like, "Whoa, be careful," because something happened, and normally you wouldn't see it, but. Yeah, but what's funny, the only other bad thing is then you have to remember you did it, because as you approach getting monetized, when you get approved, all your videos get monetized.
Now, the one thing it is tough that I do is having this earpiece be on a monitor, it's 10 seconds delayed. A lot of people can't. As a drummer, I'm used to having monitor in my ear, something's behind other stuff. But this ear is always 10 seconds behind. I'm actually re-listening to the show as it's going on. Some people,
amazing.
They would drive them crazy, but I can block it out or channel it to check it every once in a while. Or if I know it's good, I'll take it out and just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's funny because I
need to hear that, especially at the beginning, because you don't want to. Here's the problem. I love my people, all the people out there, but there's sometimes where my mic was messed up and they weren't telling me. It's like, why weren't you telling me?
Yeah, if you've watched the last couple episodes, that happened to me. I didn't look over. I typically do a visual sound check. Like, I can look over and see that it's on, and then I'm like, okay, we're good to go, and I go. The 2 of the last 5, I haven't, and I've done the entire intro, the entrance. I've previewed the match card, and then I look over at the thing, and they're like, Frank, or they're like, Toads, nobody's there. Like, you're muted. They're sending me messages through the Discord. They're like, muted. Add everybody. Totes is muted. I'm like, yeah, it might not be that serious. But, you know, I'm like, okay.
Thing this soundboard does, too. You have levels. I have 4 levels right here, which shows music, recording, monitor, and mic. So I know if I'm muted, it ain't coming through. I'll see it.
Yeah.
But then again, glitches happen with all electrical instruments and computers. I used to tell my customers this all the time. If computers were perfect, we'd be in big trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they have issues.
Yeah, for sure.
They need to be taking over the world. Yeah, we already got drones flying over. We have them here in my hometown now. There was 15 of them the other day. People were reporting.
Somebody tried to tell me they're in Alabama. I was like, no, they're not.
Not for long.
They're like, what? Yeah, no.
Well, it's a felony if you shoot them down or something, I heard.
Well,
But-
people in Alabama, they don't care.
Yeah.
My wife was like, I don't think a drone would be able to go over our house. And I'm like, I don't think so.
I heard
got
it was
too many
Amazon
things.
mapping out for delivery services, and I'm like, well, wouldn't they announce that if it was something that simple?
But here's the thing, they know what it is. Trump even came on and said, I can't believe the government's not telling me what's going on.
Yeah, we'll
Say
find
that.
out January 7th or 8th, probably.
Yeah,
Because
so,
he wants to be the hero. I don't like talking politics, but it's like, I think he's going to uncover a lot of stuff and be like, oh yeah, here's the cure to cancer. I'm the hero.
well, what's funny, he already said within his first week he's going to release the Kennedy files.
Yeah.
He said he was going to do it before, but people are still alive. He goes, they're still alive now. He goes, but I don't care. I should have did it before.
Even without any of that, I've already read that 2025 historically is supposed to be a very weird year. So I'm here for it. I'm 51.
Yeah.
I've had a great life. Bring it on.
Yep.
Aliens, I don't know. I don't want natural disasters. I don't want to see people die or get hurt. But
No, but, you know, it's just funny with all the different theories of stuff that is out there. Like, stuff is starting to happen. There's weird stuff like the drones is a weird thing. You know what I mean? So, who knows?
did we have hurricanes every year when we were kids? I don't remember that.
I don't either. I remember.
It's like 3 or 4 disastrous hurricanes every year. I don't remember that when I was a kid.
Yeah, it makes me feel like our country, other countries, it's like they're experimenting and doing stuff. They know how to seed the clouds. Like, they know how to do some of that stuff. And I'm wondering if some of that stuff is starting to have a bigger effect that we can't control. Because we can't control everything.
I was just telling my parents about, I've been stumbling on, always looking for remedies and wholesome, holistic remedies and stuff. And I see mushroom coffee everywhere and all these benefits of all these mushrooms that are out there that, doctors ain't going to prescribe and blah, blah, blah. And then I found hydrogen water, these bottles that inject more hydrogen in them and it's more healthy for you instead of drinking tap water and stuff, which can be toxic. And now I found soursop, which is a fruit that was banned in the United States forever. And now you're allowed. It's killing cancer cells.
Well,
Literally.
I remember, this is crazy. This was on the news briefly 2 different times, and they both said basically the same thing. And I'm smarter than the average bear. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff.
Dementia scares the hell out of me. If you got anything that can help cure or fix dementia and Alzheimer's, I have uncles and people that have gone through it. My biggest fear right now is if my mother or father will forget who I am before they die. And that's full risk.
Yeah, I watched my granny go through that.
So
It's not easy.
So
but
if they have something out there that can help that, why isn't soursop in every place? I just told my parents, if this is really doing this, Google it. Sour S-O-P, Google it and watch the videos, people.
Yep.
It's insane the stuff that's probably out there, but doctors and hospitals aren't going to make money if you're not taking pills and getting surgery.
Oh yeah, and that's what it comes down to. Because again, the 2 guys that came out and stated that they found a cure for cancer, it was on the news briefly, and then all of a sudden you didn't hear about it anymore, and that guy was dead. And it's happened twice. 3 or 4 times it's done with with engines that run on water. All of a sudden.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All of a sudden that person is gone.
Well,
and
in China, I just saw my brother's stepdaughter who lives in Japan now. in China, they have these things on the street. You walk on them. It kinetically creates energy as you walk. They have free electricity because when you walk, it's every time you step on these things in downtown, it creates energy and
That
it
makes
goes
sense.
through. I'm like, what? Why are we not doing that everywhere? Why are there not heated roads so we don't have ice on roads in the bad areas?
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, and it's funny because like I came out of the military, and I'm just going to tell you, the technology that they when I was in, and it's got to be way worse. That was 20 years ago. We were 20 years ahead. There's stuff that's going on right now where people are like, oh my God, it's brand new, and I'm like,
We
no,
went
it's
from a
not.
wrestling show to conspiracy theory show. I love it.
I know.
So did we go to the moon? Did you think we went to the moon?
No.
I don't think we
Hey, you know what though? Here's the funniest thing. I
beat
believed
Russia,
we did for a long time, and I
too.
haven't seen the other thing. But here's where all of a sudden I stopped thinking that it all happened. Yeah, I know conspiracy theory.
Is it the little girl with
But
the
here-
Buzz Aldrin interview?
Well, no, I get it because there's a lot of that stuff. But here's
Yeah.
a person from NASA 2 years ago, a guy from NASA, is doing an interview, and then he starts talking about the Kuiper Belt, the radiation belt, and there's two of them that are around the world, and they asked them around Earth, and they asked them between us and the moon. They asked them, nothing can go through it. They said, then how did we get to the moon? He goes, oh, well, we did it then, but now we've lost the technology, so we're trying to find it again.
Yeah.
Wait, you're telling me in the 60s you had the technology, you lost it, and now because nothing can pass through, nothing. Inanimate objects cannot pass through. And now you're telling me we went to the moon like in the 60s, we figured that out? Like we can't figure it out now, but back then, back in the day. And we've got some of the smartest people on the planet now. People even smarter than was back then because like there's people getting smarter because we keep learning more and more
Musk
things.
landing rockets into
I
that little cliff.
Never thought I'd see it.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's the conspiracy theory to me right there. Like I'm like, how did you do that?
Well, then there's videos a couple years ago of a rocket and you see a mouse climbing around on the rocket. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. and people are like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, no, but I am open to things.
Me either. But it makes you think.
Yeah.
I had to look up the lyrics because I want to get them right. You ever hear the Californication song for Red Hot Chili Peppers? Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, no!
Yep.
Who knows, man? I mean, whether it is or not, that's why I
It's
like
proven.
last year, I took my EFED to space.
Right.
We went on the space station. I was like, let's go to space. Fuck it. Who's ever done that?
Yep.
Like, we have
Nobody.
3 space stations. We're getting ready to go to this other planet. I'm sure, people have done planetary stuff. Solo does planetary stuff. But I was like,
Yeah.
our world's going to blow up. We got to go find a new planet. Let's do that for a couple months and see how people react. And the people in the chat loved it. It was like, that's why I'd love to do more. And I plead this with my people and stuff. I'd love to do more story and more, angles and feuds and stuff. But with the game, like you talk about it too, you can't control who's going to win. I'm not going to wait for an angle to end for 4 months. So I'm very selective with story and stuff. And I'm like, I always tell people, the main story is you want to win the titles. You want to rule the land because it's like a wasteland. You want to get as many titles as you can. So now I let everybody get all the shots. So that's the main story. And then there's all these underlying ones because we can't do a bloodline story and dictate who's going to win. And if we do, here's an issue. Way back in the day, 2 EFEDs, they wanted to work together, right? You do a show, and then I'll do a show with all of our characters. Here, I'll send you 20 characters of yours. You send me 20 of yours. So they did the first show, and the first show went off real good. The guy that ran the show didn't mind his guys losing and setting it up. The other guy won every match, and then same time he was lowering all the numbers.
Yep.
He was taking everyone down to 40 and 30, which doesn't guarantee.
No, it still doesn't guarantee it, but still.
But you'll still get 1 out of 10. But for the most part, I'm like, shit. Please, why would you do that? Just let the game. I love that I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, me too.
Because then you're going to hear me get excited about it because I don't know. And who knows which way we're going. So the juggling game as an EFED for me is trying to plan ahead, but not too far ahead because we don't know. Like I couldn't book anything until I find out who won the stable war. I couldn't.
No.
Because we're going one way if this team wins, we're going another way if this team wins. And I love that.
Yeah, so that's what I do. Here's a for instance, because we're in the middle of it right now. Obviously, the NWO, they can't stay around forever. But I write the storyline. I'm like, okay, here's how they come into existence. But I don't know all the people that are going to be involved. I'm like, this happens and this happens. These wrestlers are losing, like this stuff. And that way, when it starts happening, I can start recognizing it. And I'm like, oh, I could use this person for the NWO. I could use this. That's going to set up this. Now we got this. And then I'm going to bring Hogan back. And so I had Totes. Totes finally took... It's funny because it took a number of times. Totes finally beats Hogan. I have to keep making up reasons why they're fighting because Hogan keeps beating Totes. Anyway, Totes finally beats Hogan, and then I cut it off. I'm like, oh, Totes owns the NWO. He squashes it. They can never come back. And then this is months later. Finally, things start happening, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And here comes Hogan roaring back with, different cause, and he's going to teach them the ways of the NWO. But now they have to pay Totes, and so then him and Totes are... But it gives him a way now to fight Totes again, to earn back the rights. But again, some of these things go over 4 seasons because it just doesn't quite work out. I've got the big idea if it ever happens. And then sometimes I write out the big idea and the big idea totally changes. So
JP, you do not want to see me play the game. I do not know how to get in and out of the ring. I don't know how to do moves.
Yeah.
And this is going back to 2K15 and 16 when I used to just take the shots. If you look at my Discord, I'm sending all these pictures of LTD from 2001, the first show, in 2015. We did avatars, and I just did screenshots and sent them. I cannot play this game. People come on my chat and are like, fight me, Hogan versus Undertaker, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I'm terrible. I've never played a full match. Never. And people think that's crazy, and I'm like, I'm a creator. I'm a commentator.
Yeah. That's what I try to tell people too. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I can kind of play the game. I'm okay at best. Like, don't put me online against somebody else. Now, you put me in the Division 2 and you want to go into the Dark Zone, I'm going to make you look silly. You're going to be like, oh my God, my hands know how to do things, but they don't in wrestling anymore. So when I see other people like playing the game, I'm like, oh, then I kind of know who's going to win or lose. Like, by the way, if they're commentating, I'm like, by the way they're commentating, I kind of realize if they're going to throw this match or not. I'd rather just see these guys go after it. There's 5 different layers now, which I love this, because it wasn't this way in 2K19. But now there are 5 different layers of AI sliders. From the wrestler.
You don't got to worry about online, because it doesn't work for people who want to play online against each other and stuff. Plus, the speed of your connection matters, and this and that. That's why I never wanted it as much as... It's a cool idea if everyone could control their character and fight. No one has the access. I have probably 15 people that don't even have a PlayStation or this game. I have probably 10 people that don't even like wrestling. They just enjoy what we do.
No, same.
They have the Dungeons and Dragons aspect. They want to make their character and design it and see how it does.
But
I think I speak for Totes on this one. Send us ideas. Send us little, if you have, I want to feud with this guy or I want to try this. We may say no 3 out of 4 times, but when we get one, I love getting ideas from you guys. And I do want to give a shout out to R2K. I really enjoyed your stream the other day, bro. I really did.
Dude,
I like what you do, bro. Keep it up.
I'm telling you, like, there are people who announce, and this is why, like, I was given the tips the other day, because I'm like, I did the same thing. Like, I think we all did. Like, because announcing isn't this thing where, oh, you heard it on TV and now you can do it. It takes practice, and I continue to get better at doing it. And then I finally heard the difference between what I did when I started, and so I'm like, man, if I could just help people out and, like, stop calling all the moves. Call moves. I'm not saying that, but stop calling all the moves. Tell the story. If that's how your EFED is, like, you do what you got to do, but it just comes across different. If you listen to the if you listen to Michael Cole and JR and all these, they weren't calling moves the whole time. Oh my God, this is a slobber knocker. Can you believe the Stone Cold is doing this? Mr. McMahon went after him like this, and now he's doing this. Oh, and he hit him with a pile driver. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in this world, it's kind of more color. You want to talk a little more and do it. But I mean, to go, the R2K did an hour-long show, which was one match, and sometimes in this game you're going to have someone that Cody was crushing him. It was like no way he's going to come back. But R2K kept consistent with his commentary through the whole thing.
Yep.
I had to go do something, come back. He was still right in it. And that should be a reigning example of how people should do it. Whether there's 2 or 20 or 200 watching, no matter if the match is over or not, he still kept having fun with it. So props to him. People need to be called out for that stuff. To be like, that's a shining example of what we do here. So
if you can do that, you're going to make it. Like, if you can do that, you're going to grow.
He fluctuates his voice when shit's going crazy and stuff. And we've talked about it before. I call it the figurine voice. When you go,
I know.
The figurine voice. It's like, just give it to them, people. Let them hear it.
Yeah, and because it comes across that way, because I do it, because I hear this all the time. People they're talking, they're like, oh, and he did the thing. Oh, it's complete pandemonium. And you're like, what? Huh?
Say with your chest.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like pandemonium at all. Where
That's
are you at?
When you're playing with your figures in your bedroom and it's past, oh my goodness, look at Hogan.
Because mom told you not to be too loud.
Yeah, the fans. I mean, I try to do that with Wally when he comes out. I do.
Yeah, but that makes sense. That's funny.
But that, and then people in the chat start typing. I'm like, that's great. Like that Wally, Wally was created by somebody else. I didn't like the creation because it was basic. It was just with his name and a number. I'm like, that's plain. So I changed him just a little bit, and I was like, we got to give this guy. And he kept telling me he was like, he wanted to fight the Hulk. He wanted to be like a Hulk, and I'm like, all right. So I'm like, he had like a Goldberg entrance. So I'm like, let's give him a little bit of the Goldberg treatment. And it was right with it. I was like, man, people fell right into it. Now he has this whole persona that we've built off of arguably a very basic caw. Like,
I can't wait. Like I told Solo about this. I'll tell you too. Like, I got a guy who's going to start chopping my videos, like the streams, down into individual matches, and I'm going to start releasing one individual match every day on the channel. Now think about this. There's typically nine matches per WCW part that I do.
From the Jersey Shore,
I'm going to go all the way back to when I started it in season 1. And I'm going to create an individual playlist for every single wrestler. And the matches are going to be now in order of that person's playlist. So, let's say it was a Kurt hitting in a DDP playlist. The one match would go into both their playlists. You could go then into an Eagle Star as an example, because Eagle Star changed so much. The first thing that Eagle Star sent me, I was like, this isn't even a wrestler. Like, what is this? It looks like Old Man Winters found Scooby-Doo, and now, he would have got away with it if it wasn't for those pesky kids. And I was like, so I made it a little bit better. And then over time, I slightly changed it throughout the entire thing to now where Eagle Star is today. And it would be neat to see that, to see the different changes. And I change outfits a lot, so to be able to witness like the growth of like those wrestlers, I think would be interesting as well. So we're going to start doing that. It's going to take a lot of work, don't get me wrong, but I think it's going to be fun. But I don't have the time to chop the videos, so I've got a guy who's going to be helping me do it.
Now, I'm trying to think. There's someone, and I think, is it Witcher, that was putting it on her. He puts her matches from my show on her channel. I love it. I was damn cool.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah. Wherever she wrestles, she cuts hers out.
Do that,
yeah, she told me to.
Some channels won't like you to do that. But she was like, you care? I was like, no, that's great. And if you go into your copyright, it'll show if anyone uses part of your video.
Oh, yeah. No, it shows it. Every time she does it, it pops up.
Not them for doing it if it's someone you don't like, but I'm not going to do that. I just archive it because I have a commercial I put out and I give to people, and when they play that commercial, it comes up on my copyright stuff. Hey, this person used 10% of your video. I'm like,
no, and so that's the next thing. When I get once I get the sound card figured out, then I'm going to move on to the Stream Deck, and I've already talked to a few people where I'm like, hey, I want you guys to get creative and make up products. And we're going to have it so you cut the sound part of the video. That way it's not my voice. And then in between match cards, I'm just going to hit the play. It's going to pop up in there, and it's going to look like a real commercial. Like you do the Eliminator beers and the stuff like that. And, you know.
And some people sent me some too, like Triple Beats little commercial about Block Party. Whenever the WWE 2K had you could do the block characters. He has a whole video of it, but I play the audio thing. And shout out to Clinton. He sent me commercials. Monstar sent me one for his car dealership. I mean, that it's unique, and I love that. And other people, everyone should try to do that if they can, to add some uniqueness to their stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's funny. I've had this idea. This is before, like, the commercial idea. I'm like, oh, and I think this is how you do it. Or how I would do it. And then I end up in one of your streams, and you're doing the Eliminator beer. You've got the girl that comes on and talks about something too.
Cassie,
and I'm like,
Redrick did that for me.
And I'm like, well, I know it works now.
The bunker and stuff like that, yeah.
What is that thing called? Hold on real quick. It's, there is it's right in YouTube.
Up there. Good to see you.
Right in YouTube. The Brand Connect thing, right?
Yeah.
So YouTube sends me a thing for Brand Connect, and they're, so like, okay, we do it, and it's ready to go. And now it's been a few months, and not one person has said anything. And so they sent me a survey, and they said, hey, how do you think it's going? And I said, one, you guys are idiots.
It's not good.
I said, I cannot believe with content like this that is designed for multiple sponsors to come in and have slots in a live show, that none of you could figure that out. None of you can figure out what would match up well in this show. Idiots.
I don't know if times have changed, but when I started this in 2017 for 2 years doing YouTube research, I found out that wrestling gaming content goes into a category which it shouldn't. It goes into, like, combat.
Here's your winner, Diamond Dallas Page.
Physical attack. It's some category that it shouldn't be in, and I'm like, no wonder no one wants to advertise on these shows, because it goes into like a brutal category where it's all, not even where like shooting games go. And I'm like, why would you shun wrestling video games? Because it's a combat sport, but they did for a while. I don't know if that's changed or not. Doesn't sound like it from what you're telling me.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, if if that's the initial view of the thing.
I saw it for years, and I don't know. I never remember it changed, but for some reason it went into a category of, things that advertisers would not want to advertise on for some reason. But I know people that have reached. They've done the legwork. They just reach out to a million companies, and they do get a sponsor or two and do it that way. Me, I'm not in it for the money. I've said it a million times. If I pushed for that in the past, I'd have a lot more. I don't want a million subscribers. I don't want a ton, because I've seen too many channels have to deal with too much bullshit when it comes to that. I'm just content where I'm at. We got such a great community, so many great channels, and I'm just blessed to where I'm at. If it does any better, good. But like I said, it's not about the money at all. I know some people it is, and it does help, and that's great, because it can be a profitable thing. But to me, that's any bonus. If people can afford to donate or be a member or whatever, I'm very grateful. But I don't push it. You don't hear me. You don't hear me talk about. I used to do a membership commercial. I still have it on my StreamYard. I hardly ever use it, because I don't want to alienate those who don't have the money. And I know a lot of people don't in my community. And those that do, we're very grateful. We really are, because like Coach says a million times too, it goes right back into the channel.
Yep.
You're dealing with two honest dudes here that just want to bring you entertaining content. I can't say that for all content creators out there.
No.
Because they start to get the feel of success, and they get that money, and then they change. And I'm not changing for that.
No, what's funny, and the reason I push it is, and I've talked about this for years, and I've had some bad things happen this year, or we would have already done it. I'm already back into looking into it. But we're going to do title belt replica giveaways.
That's cool.
And we're going to do it. It's not going to be a random thing. It's going to be people get entered into the tournament, by being a subscriber, being whatever. Like, you don't have to put any money into it, and then you're going to watch it play out. I'm going to announce all the matches, and you're going to watch it play out, and whoever wins, I'm mailing a belt to. So, yeah, I thought that would be really fun. So, the one brand sponsorship that I even care about would be like a Fandu type belts. They're an amazing company. But there's other title belt companies out there.
I know Wildcat Championship belts right here in Pittsburgh. Guy that knows my guys from the podcast that I did.
Yep.
They make the WWE belt.
Oh, see, that'd be
also
amazing.
all the masks, the Fiend mask and all that.
Yep.
Svini, not too far from me either, here in Southwest Pennsylvania.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you see, I bought this belt for $100 27 years ago. Like, it is not a good belt, but it shows up well on camera.
I know about.
So, but being able to do that, like, I think that would be a lot of fun. And then you have maybe one or two of those type of things a year. That'd be neat.
My friend, is you can do those custom belts now. My friend Pete, who he's slowly coming back. Good thing he's back. One of the best voices. Wolfman. Remember Wolfman Jack? He has like a Wolfman Jack voice, and he's great at calling commentary. He's the one that I found on YouTube why I'm here. And he does RWO. He's coming back very soon. And when he does, I'll definitely share his links and stuff. But he had an idea. And the only thing I didn't like about it is he wanted everybody to pitch in $5. But his idea was a custom title. The winner, he will mail them this custom title that said RWO. Like if I would make an LTD belt and send them like a custom replica belt for that. But I was like, dude, I don't think you're going to get enough people pay $5. That's the problem. You know, and sure enough, you got a couple, and I was like, it's a great idea. Like but you got to find a different way to get people involved. 'Cause you're going to alienate half of the people that can't pay $5. Like you said, you're not going to ask for money, but giving a prize like that. And that's another thing YouTube used to frown on is when you say prizes or contests or giveaway. Giveaway was a bad word.
Right. Yeah. So when I took over GM of one of the, well, it's actually nationwide now, but it was a local RV dealership here. I took over as the GM. The salesman of the month, I ordered a replica belt, and it was awesome looking, and it was a 6-pound belt. Like it's good quality belt. It only cost about $200, and the salespeople all of a sudden they would pass it around. If nobody wanted it, I carried it around, and I carried it around all the time, and put it back in their face because salesmen are like, "Why are you carrying around the belt?" I bought it. Like, you want it? You come get it from me. All you got to do is, you know what you got to do to win it. And then the techs over there, nobody ever does anything for the techs. And the techs out and they're like, well, of course it was sales. Sales get all the whatever, right? And I'm like, I'll get you a belt. Here's how you win the belt. And I lay out the parameters. So they still have the belts. I just went back in there the other day for the first time. But, yeah, interesting place. But, yeah, I love it. And I love the idea of that. But here's the other problem. If it was everybody that was here in the U.S., that'd be one thing. But now we're talking about mailing the title belt overseas. That's going to cost some money. You know what I mean? You're talking about doing this over here. So, yeah, there's got to be things. And this is why, too, I say, because, again, even with all the stuff going on, all the money that we've been making is going right back into the channel. Like, it is going for some different equipment. It is going to upgrade this. It's going to, to do the stuff, to bring the better content. It's going to go into bringing in that sound card, doing the things. But I'm with you. If we never made $8, it's not going to stop me from doing the thing that I'm doing, the thing that I love. Look at Solo. Solo's like nerds. Solo, they'll always buy the ticket. I'm going to have to rechange this because I've deleted every other testing soundboard thing, even though I didn't test the soundboard this time. I was just trying to get my stuff back to normal. But then, this turns into really good conversations. Hey, Solo. I would send you a link if you can get in right now, too. I think I figured it out, finally. I don't know why I couldn't figure it out on the last one. I did everything I thought of, and it didn't work. Let's see. Okay, let's see now if we can do it.
I had to leave and come back. Can you hear me?
Yep, now I got you back. Yeah, so when you do it in mine, it'll pop in a thing.
So I can't touch this damn sound card plug right here. That's what happened. Because when I lifted it up before it muted it, and I touched it now and it muted it.
Ah, got it.
It's the cheap sound card. We're working with what we got.
Let's see. I might have to.
$1.99 Super Chat.
I might have to do this and then send it again. This should work.
Hey, Radio Rex, I made it. You guys will be sorry.
Shut up, bro.
Okay, that's on that side.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Cha-cha, one cha.
2 times.
It's gonna be good to be back tonight. Let's see what I got. Two and a half hours. We find out what title shots those damn madness peckerheads get tonight. That's I got sick. I missed 2 shows, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it a storyline. The Madness decided to cancel 2 of our shows because they wanted the next show. and as soon as I did that in Discord, all the Madness people started playing along, and everyone started, I'm like, man, I'm sick, but this is great. Like I turned my sickness into a storyline.
Well, I sent them the thing. Let's see if that works.
Isn't it K-Fab, as Solo says, Temple?
Kayfabe. Yeah.
I heard him saying that one show, and I was in his chat. I was like, dude, aren't you trying to say K-Fabe?
Yeah.
There's no K-Fab. What are you saying? I was like, it must be the generation gap, because I think it's a Logan Paul thing or something where he says, maybe Solo can answer. What's up with K-Fab? K-Fab is in the building. It's Solo season.
I haven't seen him jump in
No
yet.
motion for you.
Oh, hold on. No?
Up close and
That's
personal
you.
with Solo season. In the building.
Can you see him?
Oh, you want a kiss from Radio Rex? There you go. Oh, jeez.
Can you see him?
I see him. But
That's
he's not
crazy.
on the screen here.
I don't see him.
I
Okay.
can see him on the PC, but not on the live screen. It
Okay.
looks like a nice day there, Solo. What the hell?
Hold on. let
In a
me-
golf cart driving around chilling. I'm jealous. K-Fab. B-Fab. That's what. I fell right into Solo's trap with the K-Fab thing. He's gone now. Bye.
That is so weird. Okay. There's so many different buttons. Like, I just need him to stay in for a
I
second.
know. I almost want to. I want to OBS for dummies.
That's what
Because
I
there's
want.
too much in OBS. I love OBS. Has a lot of shit, but it's too much.
Well, it's funny because, like, everybody's like, I want to jump in too. I'm like, yeah. It's like,
That would be StreamYards, where you can bring 6 people on free StreamYards. This is.
What's jacked up is it says I can bring in 11 people.
Oh, really?
Yep.
See, I've never used this part of Streamlabs. I've always used StreamYard.
I just don't know why. If he jumps back in, you're going to have to let me know when he gets back in.
Yeah, if I see him. There he is. He just jumped back in.
Okay,
Just
hold
when
on.
I said that.
Now it says a guest is joined.
Yep, I see him.
Solo season. Okay.
You see.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What?
He's frozen right now, though. Outdoors. Might be a connection.
And close.
Frozen Solo.
Try.
Frozen Solo. I'm addicted to this. Sorry.
Solo. Oh, hold on. That's the problem.
Oh, we got
There
2
go.
solos now. Now 1. Testes.
Hold on. It's just going to take me a second. Okay, we got the 1. For the love of everything that's holy. We got one. We got Solo right there. Why won't you do it?
Gone again.
Oh,
No more Solo.
hold on, I'm hitting the wrong thing. There we go. Bam, got that. Let me go to the next one. Okay, now you're back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
We're back.
Now go
And
over.
we're back.
I just need him
get
to.
all up on the smoke.
I just need him to stay there longer. If he would just stay a little longer.
He's hyper like me, man. I don't think Solo can stay in one place for more than 5 seconds. He's animated.
He is.
Come back, Solo. Come back.
Go
Our
back.
only hope. And Solo.
Because I've got to do things in 2 different spots to make it all work.
Oh, he's outside and it looks sunny. I'm jealous. It's crap weather here.
It's funny. I did something and I put kind of just put a little thing out there for our league, for our E-Federation in the WWE 2K thing on Discord. And now I've got people, you want to join my league? No, I don't. Not really. Not even a little.
I feel bad telling people I don't want to join their Discord because I don't need 55 Discord channels. I mean, I had a couple years ago. I did a Discord channel, and then I was like, "Nah, I don't want this." Now I came back, and I can use it a lot better now. It's perfect.
Hey, Solo, if you jump in, just stay. There we go.
He's
just stay there for a minute. Let me come over here. Show
Bye.
on screen.
Now he's moving. We got Wi-Fi.
Okay, now he's on.
Yeah, we got Wi-Fi. We got Wi-Fi.
Okay, now let me fix it. We got that.
Fix it, folks. Fix it.
You guys, I'm lucky I did my base exfoliation. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm saying.
Perfect, and let me go into
I
the
did.
other thing.
I love the fact that we can still work this out though. Like, you know what I mean? We gotta.
Yeah, I hear him. I
See,
hear him on the broadcast.
You hear him,
Do we really?
and
You
audio.
hear me? Oh, good. Well,
Okay, hold
since
Yep. All
since
three,
guys
we got
can
him
hear
covered.
me,
on. That is.
Whatever
I
he
love
did,
all you-
because I hear him on my monitor.
That is
that's such a
crazy.
weird thing that the
Hold on, 'cause
people
I
can
still
hear
don't
me, just
him.
not the guy running the show. Thank you.
Take a bow.
Thank
Take a bow.
you. I indeed.
So,
I do a break fall like a real. Yeah, I do a real break fall like a wrestler right now, but I don't think any of the residents at my apartment complex would understand. Actually, truth be told, if you
Why
guys
can't I
want to,
hear
I
'em?
could drive.
like you hear him,
I should. Yeah, there's a double of me now. I
I
kind
can
of like
see his voice moving. Why
Okay,
can't I?
so there is a resident
Okay,
here who
okay,
is the
okay.
daughter or the granddaughter of Chris Adams, the inventor of the super kick.
The gentleman.
So she lives. Gentleman, yes, the
Okay,
gentleman
it's gotta
Chris
be-
Adams,
Yeah.
the original judo kick.
Yes, sir.
His daughter was his granddaughter lives here in this complex, and she actually just super kicked me yesterday. I should have got it on video. She, of course, she's a little older, you know what I'm saying? But she hit me with the super kick, and I turned around, and then she hit me with the high knee in the back. You know that like high knee to knock you down, dude. Oh, it was so good.
Hey,
It was so good.
If she
Now I
can
can
kick
hear
that
you.
leg up that high, you might want to take her home with you. Hey, now.
Hey, Blaise. Hey, work and play. There's, you got to separate the two. Except for when it comes to what we do, man. This EFET stuff is beyond fun. I know. I'm doing this at work right now, so I love that you and Blaise. I'm sorry, you and Totes can actually. Because I don't think Totes can hear me right now, can you, Totes?
I can now.
Oh, you can. Oh, he's in on the com.
He fixed it. Touchdown.
Okay, that's why I thought the claps were for me. I just thought the claps were for me. I'm just so used to it. No, listen, guys, I'm happy to be here like always. You know, when we talk about KFAB, when we talk about EFEDs, when we talk about life in general, it's really a big thing because I think people need to. It's like the Joe Rogan podcast. Like people go there because they know they're not going to get lies. They're going to get people that push back on lies, push towards the truth, and ask questions even when we're confused, because there is still like gray area out there in the E-Federation community that we're just kind of like, you know, just kind of like dipping our finger in there, getting a little taste and see what we like, what we don't like. But I think, again, what we're doing right here, right now, and for everybody in the comments, like, it's good. It's nice to see you guys wanting to get involved. You know what I'm saying? Buy a ticket. Buy the ticket.
Yeah, right. Well, what's funny about this was just supposed to be like a test, which is good. And then I was like, okay, well, Blaise is here. Let's test that out. Let's figure out how to fix that. And then you pop in. I'm like, okay, well, let's figure out how to test that. But
absolutely, you got to get ready.
The other day, my 30-minute audio test was 2.5 hours.
Right.
Hey.
And we got great people with us. We're very thankful. I think I'm speaking for all three of us that we're very grateful for everyone that ever enters our chats. For real.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you people enough.
Yeah, you guys know me. I am the ass end of this horse, if you will, and I talk a lot of shit. And so when guys hear me do something controversial, understand it. Kayfabe is a funny thing. When I watched Rock spanking Cody Rhodes with the belt, when he's like, "You shut up, ain't no cut, ain't no clear. The Rock don't give a fuck about no clear." It's like, maybe that's. Maybe, like, hey, who is Kayfabe back? Like, somebody call the cops on that guy. Let's figure out if he can, let's figure out if The Rock can get an assault charge and survive. So it's like what we do. I hope everyone takes it as serious as when you watch Monday night, when you watch Netflix. When I saw did anybody see Paul Heyman do that amazing kind of Netflix thing there? I thought that was good. You could see that, my man Fatu got a little riled up when he started talking about family members again, because, Paul Heyman slaved out the Samoans. Don't you act like you don't know the truth. He slaved those Samoans out in ECW, but it's all right. We all know.
Companies are going to streaming services. We've been doing that. It's about time.
Oh, come on. You guys are late to the game. Let me tell you, the day I saw the interactive Undertaker thing on Netflix, I was like, someone owes us some money, period. When I saw Undertaker walking through, Jacob, man, they are not going to get it because they messed up. They don't understand how to do it like we do it. They are missing the key component. They're missing the love factor. That's it. They don't love wrestling. They love money. And the idea of money is great. But if you want to make money in wrestling, you better love it, because everyone else on the back end, we love it. And we can tell when you love something, whether it be swimming or you're a car enthusiast. I don't care. You can tell when someone's passionate about it, because love is kind of like the I don't know. It's like the one currency that when you have nothing, that's what you got. So if you've never had anything, you might not know what love is, but we've had nothing before. So we know what it's like to find a love for something. And that's what Netflix is missing. That's what these big guys are missing. They want to make money, but it's a good thing that Triple H, I think, is still heading up the WWE. And I think Tony Khan is going to have to find a new best friend other than Jungle Boy. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, no.
I got my best friends.
Hell yeah.
No, but it shows you, like, I got in another podcast the other day, not on it, but I was watching Bischoff and Conrad, and they were talking back and forth about this and about that, about this, and the guy gets into the chat, and he's like, oh, he won't even get on Russo's thing. He won't do the thing with Russo. I'm like, I know you're trying to glorify this guy, but nobody likes him. He's a crap.
That's so true.
He's a crap booker. You could tell. I don't even know if he understands.
I don't think he does either. He books like it's a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then it was the same thing with Kevin Nash. When Kevin Nash got in all of a sudden, and Kevin Nash knows a lot about wrestling. He knows a lot about this. He helped to come up with a lot of concepts. But then when he was the booker, you look at it and you're like, some of it was okay and some of it was not.
Yeah, me, I'm gonna deep dive and talk that dirty. That thing was like a whole, come on, man, you can't put an addict in charge of a company. Period. You turned Lex Luger into a loser. You cannot run the company, period. It's over. The next Hulk Hogan got turned into a junkie because you and your squad couldn't get it together for the business. Listen, guys, like I feel you. Like that's why I have a hate, love, and I mean hate. I know there's some people in the chat right now. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all to death. I hate some of y'all too, but it's still love because I understand your side of the passion. And it's like, okay, Russo, I'll never not allow you to make your wrestling. Do your wrestling, Russo. Do your wrestling. Nobody is going to stop anybody. It's a free country, freedom. I'd be damned if somebody stops the Lord from saying something naughty. You know what I'm saying? I'd be damned if someone stops Radio Rex from talking that trash. There's just nothing more potent than the opposite ends of free speech, right? So you get guys.
Somebody say my name. You bastard. You can't say my name and not deal with the repercussions. You've been warned.
Rex, I owe you a chat, okay? Oh, Blaise, why? You can't keep him that far away from me, Blaise. He's mine. All right.
He hacked into my feed every once in a while. I can't stand him. I don't want nothing to do with
the Bischoff storyline is to be started, all right? I'm telling you guys, I love what we're building in the essence of wrestling. Again, and if anybody's ever been offended by something I've said, good. Because honestly, there's nothing I can do about how you feel about me. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing you can do to change me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to be trying to be a good wrestling provocateur, right? Whether I was going to grow up to be a manager or a wrestler, I always knew I was going to be a wrestling entity. I tried to be, and hearing Toad's story, hearing Blaise's story in that podcast that you did a while back, Blaise, that shit was heartfelt, brought a tear to my eye. You know what I'm saying? I was in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I was like,
help one person or make someone else think they shouldn't give up or they should try harder or overcome. You're only dealt the cards you are because you can beat those cards and be stronger. I'm truly a believer in that. Because of what's happened. You're all that shit people say, oh, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That shit's true. I'm the man I am because I went through a lot of bullshit in my life. I wouldn't be as strong if everything was gravy my whole life.
That's a fact.
Challenge me. Make me a better man.
And I love, and you know, it's so cool because, you know, I say this to, I'm sure we've had this conversation separate, but I think it's nice to kind of talk it now where I like Totes' story of how he came to be on this. It's almost like it's a grudge factor for him. It's like, tell me I can't do something. Go on. Tell me I can't so I can prove you wrong, you know? And on the other end, you've got Blaise in, like, again, the yin and yang is what I like to call it. It's like you've got this light side where he really does genuinely want to help somebody, like Santa Claus coming down the chimney. You know what I'm saying? He comes down, he drops you guys off gifts every time he goes live. He literally just wants to help people out. I'm the elf that puts the coal in your stocking. You hear me? I'm going to tell you you're naughty. Naughty list is thick this year. You hear me? A thick naughty list. And so we 2024 was great. 2025 has been awesome. And I again, when it comes to the yin and the yang, in the sense, you know, I want to change people's perspective on life. That truly is what I want to do. But I'm not going to do it from the same way Blaise does because I don't have the temperament. I don't have the temperament to do what Totes does and toe the line, essentially. You know, look at me, pun intended. But that, again, when I do what I do, guys, I hope you know, like, when you hear they chant EC dub for Paul Heyman, that's because they remember what sacrifices he made, the dangers he took, the titties, you know. it was legit, you know. And honestly, on the other end, you had a lot of provocative stuff. So, and then you get, you know, on the other end, guys, what else are you gonna do? You know, what else are you gonna watch? What are you gonna watch? AEW? Ew. No, you're gonna turn on Totes. You're gonna turn on Blaise. Stop it. Nobody wants to see the OTC. What is it? Original Tribal
When I started
Clown?
this in 2017, I'd say over half of the people that were doing this didn't watch real wrestling because it wasn't that good around that time. This is pre-AW, before WWE stepped it up. It was still the Vince BS, and it wasn't that engaging. So it's like we had issues with people. People rather watch E-Feds than the real wrestling, and hey, that's how it goes.
Well, that actually kind of brings me to this point now, right? We all have someone in our universe that transfer, like multiple people actually that traverse our universes and traverse them with different hats on, right? I've got R2K. I've got Jakai. You have Jakai, but they traverse your universe differently, and I think that.
Uh-oh, we're losing Solo. Robot Solo. Bad Wi-Fi. I think he's gone. Frozen Solo. I can't hear you now, Toad.
So I'll have to
I know, because I'm muted.
Oh, now I okay. Now I hear you. I was like, he's talking. I can't hear him. Yeah, we lost him. Solo. He's gone. I love his passion, man. I mean, and he knows that we're not always going to agree with what he does. He tells you about it. You know what I'm saying? But he's unapologetically himself, and I respect that. We don't always agree, but he stands his ground on what he wants and how he do things. I respect that, you know?
No,
Take
absolutely.
it over the show. It's my show now.
Yeah, now it's Rex show. Toads has been gone too long.
Don't give him all the time.
No, but when Mrs. McGoats calls, we're supposed to be flying out early tomorrow morning, and now it's been a couple things like with our Hilton stuff where she's kind of freaking out about, and I'm like, just call them. So anyway, that's what she's doing. But yeah, no, that's why sometimes like we had the last not the last one, but the podcast before, and then Temple's like, oh, well, you didn't even talk about the match card. I'm like, I know. I said, I've learned this one lesson. If Solo's on, I'm not naming it. We're going to get on, and we're just going to talk, and it's going to be a good time, and you're probably going to learn a bunch of stuff and he's very passionate about, like, the stuff, and it comes out. He'll let you know exactly what he's thinking. Me, sometimes you got to ask me the question.
From him. He tells you he's real about it. You might not agree with it. You might not like some of the stuff, but he's not going to change. He's going to be himself.
Yep.
And I respect that. I mean, more people should be like that.
Yep, I agree.
I'm not saying more people should say and do what he does. I'm saying they should be independent and do what they want to do and not be apologetic about it. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah. Nope, it's absolutely. That's why. Well, and then that's why too. When people come if people come to the WCW from Solo Season, I feel like I got to explain it to them, like, because it's not the same. Like, people get in and they're trying to cut promos on people, and people. I don't think that's why they come to WCW. I've got a place where you could tell your story, and like you said, I want to hear all your ideas. Like, what do you think you should be doing? And then some of it will make it in, and most of it won't. To be fair, and then. What'll even be more funny is all of it might make it in, but it just isn't going to make it in. It might be a year before you see the other thing that you were talking about, but something might happen where I'm like, oh my God, where's this at? I go back in my notebooks all the time. I'm like, I swear I was talking about this. And I'll find it and I'm like, oh, see, that's a brilliant idea. Some of it I read and I'm like, that was dumb. Like, why did I do that? But, you know, some of it, like you see it happening and you're like, oh yeah, we're going to do that. But I had a guy come in one time and I changed one thing up about it, and he's like, hey, that thing's got to go. You know, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think you're going to be around very much longer. You'll probably got to go, because at the end of the day, it's still...
Trying to help and telling people how to run their show is a fine line. Right.
If you want to be on the show, you can be on the show, probably. You know, like you said, it's the same thing. I've had another guy where he's like, can I use your wrestlers? You can do whatever you want. Just don't call them my wrestlers. Because it's your show. You're going to be doing things with them regardless.
I've had that issue. I've had people in the chat who used to come in and be like, tell the other people, that's not how you be a heel. You should act like this. You should act like that. And I'm like, no. I'm sorry. I know you're trying to help, but it's my show.
Yeah.
Let me worry about that. And I was like, I get it. And then some people would stop, and then a couple of them would keep going. I'm like, well, this isn't the place for you.
Yeah.
You know, find somewhere where you have control if you're a control freak like that, because I can't do that. It's going to mess up everything I'm trying to do. And it's the juggling act right now is there's a balance between while you're doing the show, calling the show, making it a TV product, but also being able to explain what we're doing and why we're doing it every once in a while.
Yep.
Like, I want to give people a TV product. For the first 3 years, I never stopped the show. I never explained what I'm doing. I just called it and hope they follow along. Then I realized sometimes I have to explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and a little bit about how we do it, just so people don't go off on a stupid tangent but that's a joke. Like, I don't want to do that too much where now I'm not calling the show. I'm telling you about eFeds for 2 hours. That's for the podcast. Like, when we do the podcast, we'll talk about all that stuff. But during the show, for the most part, I want to concentrate on entertaining.
Right. And so, Temple, I wasn't talking about you. Like,
No, we're always talking about you, Temple.
Yeah.
Even when you think we're not, we are.
No, so here's the funny thing. Like, I'm so excited about this. Temple's got this way of putting himself in every storyline. I got this storyline section, and Temple told me he wanted to do this. He wanted to be like, this is what Sawyer is. Like, Temple and Sawyer are two different people. Understand this one thing. Whether anybody believes they are or they aren't. Sawyer's a bunch of pixels. Temple's a flesh and blood person. But Sawyer wants to be involved in everything after he said, I walk alone. There's a story coming out about it. It's going to be amazing. I hope. Like, I can't control who wins or loses again, but there's going to be an amazing storyline coming out about it. Something I never thought I would do. I only tried it kind of one time, and now it's one of the 3 reasons I did not do a show this week, because I didn't have time to do 6 shows. And because I don't have time to do 6 shows, if I do 2 and then I'm gone for 10 days, you're going to forget like what happened in the first 2 shows. I might forget, to be fair. So it's I can't wait. It's funny.
We're not piling on you, Temple. We love you, dude. But here's, like, I had to deal with, and this is a good example. I want to use this as an example because it's a learning. It's something I think you guys can benefit from. Right now in LTD, the madness are the top heels, the bad guys. They're trying to ruin everything and change everything. Sawyer's been a bad guy ever since he's come here, and I love it. Sawyer shouldn't be interacting with the madness. The madness should be interacting with the good guys. I don't like saying good guys and bad guys, face and heel. You don't hear me say that on the show.
Right.
But, and there's mostly tweeners. But, like, him going after the madness doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But in Discord, I get the interactive. One person wants to respond to someone, and I'm like, hold on. I'll get Sawyer something to do.
Yeah.
So he's got to worry about Wally right now, because Wally wants to rip him to shreds. You're
Yeah.
worried about the madness, you're going to get destroyed by Wally. And I don't think you want that.
Well, no, and this is no doubt, this is a good thing, because like Sawyer, like my guy Sting, like that's who, like in my head, Sawyer's guy's Raven. And you never saw Raven, who was kind of the bad guy, not the greatest guy, did his own thing. He's going to walk his own path. He's going to do the thing, which I get. That's what I picture when I'm doing something with Sawyer. You never saw Raven go after the New World Order. You wouldn't have saw Raven go after Kevin Sullivan and his group if they were there at the same time. They weren't.
But for someone who wants to be involved that much, I'll find something. Trust me, I love the interaction. I wish the other 40 people that don't interact would interact like you. So we're not, I mean, it's a good thing to be that active, but it has to have a focus. And like you just said too, Temple, you want him to be a little different on the different shows. That's beautiful. That's fine, because all the shows are run differently. So why would your character be the same? Mine's 75 years in the future, and I did that for a reason. If I have a time machine in the show. So if I really want to go back, and we do fantasy action wrestling, and the reason FAW works where Brooklyn Joker can challenge Kevin Owens, we do that every once in a while. How can I make that happen? How can he fight Ric Flair in his prime? Well, I got to pretend I have a damn time machine. So now we have a time machine. So we can use our imaginations all we want, but I want to keep some semblance of realism as well. What would it be like to watch a pre-apocalyptic wasteland wrestling show in 2099? So I keep telling people, and I'm going to nail it into people's brain, TV style. I want TV style promos. You're not screwing people's moms and their sisters. You're
using bad words, like
I can do this and you can't do that. I don't mind bad words as much as as other people, but
There's
if you're
certain
nothing
words
but-
that wouldn't be allowed on TV. That's what I mean.
Well,
Your
see,
promo. I've heard people's promos where I'm like, you wouldn't see that on TV without it beep.
As long as it's not, that's
Beep.
all they're saying is F, 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 F. You
Yeah.
get one little, if your promo at the end needs a shit, maybe
Yeah.
you use one shit.
Yeah.
something more
Yeah,
impactful.
yeah, yeah.
But if it's
I'm
the whole
on.
way through all cuss words and stuff.
Yeah,
no,
if you're
not
like-
gonna put it on TV.
Yeah. What you
Yeah,
would see on TV, that's the promos that the other ones I throw out. I'm like,
I even
nah.
tell people, give yourself a setting. Say that this interviewer has you in the back. Two sentences. We're in the back, and this interviewer is interviewing, Brooklyn Joker.
Yep.
And you put Brooklyn, and you'll start to see if you're in my Discord server. I'm gonna start because Bill Haight and a bunch of people who were in my Fed back in it, they want me to start posting the old shows, which are in HTML. It's all words. You got to read it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. When you type a promo, type your name, what you say. Like, make it look readable for the audience, and don't make it too long either.
Yeah.
If it's real long, people aren't going to read it, or it's going to get lost in translation.
Yep.
To the point. That's when I'm going to spoil something right now that I was waiting for the new year to announce. I'm bringing that Gift of Gab tournament back in February, and I want people to get involved. We only had like 15 people, and I didn't want everybody, but we got some people. But you guys got a taste of it. Video promos, audio promos, text promos. I read them. Now I can
change my voice.
and I can be a man.
And I can be a woman.
I can be a monster. I'll help you, whatever you want.
Yep.
And I'm gonna throw someone else out, and I've helped him a million times. I've had to try to tell him, Jamar, focus. I love you, Jamar, but you want to be involved a million places, and he uses voice to text too. So when he's in the chat, and I'm like, what the hell did you just say? And I'm like, I have to decipher it, so I know Jamar Ease now.
Yep.
But we love you. He's so involved all the time. But he was picking wrong people last year, and I'm like, dude, they're gonna bury you. You do not want to pick a fight with that group of people because they have 40 people. They're just gonna gang up on you.
Yep.
Look at the match card. Talk about your next fight. I give you a match card for the next week. Talk about the next fight you got. Focus. Everyone wants to be the world champ. You come like Matt Storm. I love you to death. I want to be the world title. I gotta have the world. No shit. Everybody wants the world title.
Except Totes.
Well, yeah, I don't either. Some people don't want it. I like that too. Chance Harper was always a good one. He hated to win. He wanted to lose because he wanted to show people how to develop his character. And I'm like, brilliant. I need more of you.
This is funny. Because this goes into the same kind of stuff we were talking about. There are characters out there that would need the world title to be relevant. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean, just whatever. You got to have the world title. That's not what I mean. I mean, in order for a story with a certain character to work, you would have to have the world title. You would have to have this. You would have to have and then you have other people. And we won't use me. The Count in your.
Count Z, yeah. Part
he doesn't need a title.
No, because he's
that dude is so polarizing.
Yes.
He doesn't need a title. Raven didn't need a title. Yeah, he held on to the hardcore title a little bit here and there, but he was so polarizing, he didn't need it.
4 months in a row and still cut fun promos and have fun. And he said it. If you're in my Discord server, you've heard him say too, I'm going to have fun with this regardless. I'm going to be a little polarizing and have fun and tell you about yourself. But he stays within the limits. And you got to kind of have a leash to an extent. You got to talk to your people a little bit.
You shouldn't. And this is my point more with
I don't want to hold your hand either.
Yeah, more than bad words. You shouldn't be calling people names necessarily that don't make sense. If you would say this to a guy in a bar, that's not wrestling.
Yeah. And I didn't think I'd have to control this a lot, but physical attacks, like in the chat. Oh, my character walks up to this guy and smacks him in the back of the head, or I start beating up random fans, and security got me, and now I'm beating. I had people that weren't even in my company would come in and see what we do, and they start doing that. And I'm like, dude, I love it because you're trying to play along. I get it, but if you're not on the roster, that's not making sense. I'm not gonna play along. Hit me in the DMs. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
But it's
Dude,
Blade Charge was like that back in the day. He didn't really have an angle or anything, and Blade Charge is a great guy. Does a women's wrestling show. Valkyrie's a wrestling. He's not too far from me. He's a Pittsburgh dude. Great guy. real funny, real quirky and funny. But until he storyline saved the world in the first apocalypse, because he was a rocket scientist, we didn't know, and he stopped the meteor from crashing into the planet, and soon enough the AI made him the world champ. Like within the next couple months, I was like, thank you, AI. And now, like you said, now he has purpose. Now people have to respect him.
Yep.
When he didn't have a path before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rocket Man, the man who saved the world now in his intro.
Heck yeah. Well, I got to jump off here, but I love this. Like, I could get the three of us and we could talk all night for sure. Like, this sound check has gone on now for 2 hours.
These summit shows are going to be so much fun. I got to piece together a schedule for January and February for 3 or 4 of them. Have 4 or 5 of us together and just share best. I have too many people that want in right now, to be honest, and I can't let everybody in.
No, it's too much. Yeah,
I'm going to be very select. That's why I want to do 3 or 4 of them with only 4 of us or 5 of us at a time.
Yeah.
I want to give everyone a chance to explain what they do, how they do it, and then answer some questions from the chat and stuff.
Yeah. No, I love it, and I love watching it. I find it interesting seeing the different way everybody does it.
That, you know, my company sees people that were from you guys that may not have met yet, or some people find out Totes is kicking ass over there. Go check out his show. When I spread like R2K, I shared the shit out of his yesterday. I was like, you got to go check this guy out. He's fun to watch. You know, and some people will go and watch it. It might not be their thing, but I will share everybody. And I just want to spread the love. It's all leading up to the gathering where we're celebrating over 30 different events, and I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, it'll absolutely be crazy. So, but anyway, guys, that is going to do it for us here. I guess drop likes and subscribe and do all the things. Like, that wasn't even the thing that we were doing. But and then if you don't, which I think all of you know, but go check out Blaise's channel as well if you're watching this a little bit later. And we will catch all of you guys in the next one. Peace.
Shut up, Rick.